I just hit starting. It's starting. It says this Hangout is on the air. The Hangout is live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Diggin For Gold. It's Tuesday, October 25th, and we see you all out there. Rick, hello. Marta, hello. Bill, hello. Daryl, hello. Welcome aboard. Like we told you last week, we're going to switch ponies for just a little while here and switch on over to Twitter and do some Twitter stuff. And having given it a fair amount of thought and consideration over the last several days, we're going to go start at the beginning, basically. We're going to assume everybody has a Twitter account, but that's all we're going to assume. And the same as when we started into Facebook, we went back and we revisited profiles and fan pages and personal profiles and things and talked about. We're going to do similar things with Twitter. We're going to start at the beginning and review what your Twitter account should look like and what you should be doing, et cetera. So I'm actually going to shut up and get out of the way and turn it over to Laura, who's going to cover the Twitter basics. Right, Laura?
That's right. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to Diggin For Gold. Thanks, Len, for having us here to brainstorm and to learn together. I started my Twitter account back, I want to say it was 2009, and I just used it for personal and didn't really understand it. I've kind of like picked up a few things here and there, and since we've been doing the Diggin For Gold for Facebook, I kind of just have been concentrating strictly on Facebook. So now that we're doing Twitter, I'm excited to go back through and to update and revise newer things that we now have available to us, and some of the ideas that we've taken from some of the other leaders and looking at other pages. I'm just excited that now we can kind of start digging through it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Twitter can be very useful, and when I did a little bit of research. I grabbed information from Twitter itself. They have a lot of really neat help pages, starting up pages, and so a lot of the stuff that I took were from two locations, as I was been learning. So one was the Twitter page itself, and then the other is Adam Chandler. He seems to be really up on all of this, and so I took a few things that I liked that he did that I'll just share with you. So the first thing I wonder for me is, when I had my personal account, I wondered, is it really going to make a difference if I switch it over to a business account? And what I noticed the differences for that, and you guys can kind of, if you want to put it in the chat, because I don't know who all has a Twitter account here and who's actively using it. But if you are actively using it, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you have it, but you're not really using it, go ahead and put a 2. I just want to see who has what. But what I realized was that between the two of them, the business and the personal, with the business, you get the analytics, which will come in handy later on when we have more followers and we want to understand like what's working, what's not, different locations and stuff like that. So we won't go into that now. Okay, so we have a lot of people who have it. Hey Linda, hey Bill, hey Marta, hey Rick. Did I miss anybody? I might have missed one more person. Hey Daryl, thank you guys. Okay, so pretty much everybody has it. Everybody is using it. Okay, except Marta. I know that you, Marta, that you aren't using it yet. So you'll just kind of, you'll be learning. If you want to learn, we can go over stuff later with you. So some of the stuff might not make sense, but that's okay. Some of the concepts. The nice thing about what Len and I figured out was when we were looking at what we were doing on Facebook versus what we were intending to do on Twitter, is a lot of the things kind of they meld together. And what we mean by that is, you know, you can like on Twitter just like you can like on Facebook. You have a profile on Twitter, you have a profile on Facebook. You have a header on Twitter, so you get the idea. And so the only difference is, well, I don't want to say the only difference. So there are differences which we'll kind of go over. So let's see. So that's the big difference, is the analytics from the personal to the business account. Now, we want to understand terminology. And I want to go over terminology because do we really know what it means? So I'm just going to tell you, I want you to understand the language and the terminology. So to tweet, a tweet is a message posted on Twitter that contains a text, photo, a link, a video, or things intertwined. Okay, so you can reply to a tweet. Replying to a tweet is responding to somebody's tweet. It's a way to show that you're listening and maybe providing a helpful answer. So that's just replying. Replying is kind of the same as commenting when you comment on Facebook. So that's kind of doing it a little bit different, but it's almost the same concept. So then you can, so you can tweet, you can reply, you can reply, you can retweet, you can like it, just like you like on Facebook. You can use a hashtag, and I'll go into more depth of what a hashtag is in just a minute. But a hashtag, I'll show you why a hashtag is important and where we can use it. We're going to use it probably in our bio and maybe some pictures. But a hashtag is any word or phrase without spaces beginning with the number sign symbol. People use hashtags to organize conversations and make it easier to find all content related to a given topic. So the reason you do this is because if you click on a hashtag to go directly to the search results for that term, so hashtagged words that become very popular are often trending topics. And the reason that's important is because if you want more people, let's just say you throw a tweet out there and something is trending right now that's really important. Like right now, it probably would be the presidential debate. Let's just take that for an example. And I've seen hashtags out there that would say hashtag debate or hashtag Trump, hashtag anything that's related to the debate, to what's going on right now with the election. Hashtag election 2016. So when you go later to, if you're looking for people, let's just say you're somebody who is really excited about something specific going on, then what you can do is you can just search for that one hashtag, and then you could see a whole bunch of followers and people who have tweeted. So it's a way to find a group of people or topics. That's an easy.
So this could come in handy, say, search for people that are eating organic food. So search for hashtag organic.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or hashtag toxin.
Yep. Yes. Or if you're looking for, like I would search, if I'm just trying to be social on Twitter and I'm looking for, let's just say, hashtag Disney, then I can come across a whole bunch of people who like Disney. So just a way to categorize that. So then the fifth building, they call it, the fifth way, the terminology to Twitter is a mention. And when you do a mention, you've probably seen this in the past. I don't know, maybe not. But you bring a tweet to another person's attention by including their Twitter name. So it would be like at Disney Mom, or who on here, like, what's yours, Len? Yours is Len Mooney 56
5839.
5839. Okay. So if I wanted to tweet something and I wanted Len to be aware of it, then I would say in there, I would say at Len Mooney 5839.
Now, is
And
that,
then,
well, yeah, so but the tweets are limited to 140 characters, right? So is that some, take up some of the characters? And they've also made a change recently about that you can have a link in the tweet that does not get counted in the characters now.
okay, your username is your handle, is your unique identifier on Twitter. Okay, it can contain up to 15 characters. They can be the same, but they don't have to be. Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I do
sorry.
know. I do know. There's a gentleman that I follow. His name is Joel Com. He's very technology. He is usually up on a lot of this stuff. And anyway, one of his trainings recently said that there's a way that you can, if you reply to somebody and you put a dot in front of your reply, then it goes to everybody, kind of like a reply all. And I know that doesn't answer your question, but I'm not sure about your question. And I think I want to look at something real quick, because I think the number, well, I thought it was 160 for when you're tweeting.
It's 140 characters in a tweet.
Okay, and I thought they updated it to be 160, but
Okay.
I can't find. Maybe we'll come across it, but there was something about that I've seen. Does anybody know in the chat? Bill, Rick?
The update they did do recently is that the 140 characters, if you had a link in your tweet, that was part of the 140 characters. Now you can put a link in, and it's not part of the 140 characters. So they've actually made it. Hi, Chris. They've actually made it. Your tweets can be longer now because they can be up to 440 characters, and you can still have a link. So that's
awesome.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder if that has the same thing to do with the image, because that used to happen to me also. If I had a link and an image,
yeah,
you're like, like, okay, let's delete these 2 words and see what else I can fit in there. So, okay, good. So the one thing that so I'll just continue. So there's a reply, a retweet, a like, a hashtag, and a mention. And so the first thing that you want to do with your Twitter account is you want to create your profile. And your profile is actually going to contain a few different things. Your username that you're going to have to choose, your picture, your profile picture, and we have the sizes and everything for that too. Your bio. Now, this is what I took. I did find some notes from Adam Chandler. He says your bio should tell a little bit about you as a person and what you are in business. Remember that this is social media, so you want to show that you are a real person who is living a real life and build the trust and likability factor. One of the ways to kill trust and likability is to be all business and send a message that you are here to build your business and acquire new customers. So he really suggests finding out what's your hobbies, what's your passions, and what kind of things you do outside of your business. Mine, I think when I first started, I think I had in there Haagen-Dazs, chocolate ice cream, and Disney. Those were the things that were in my bio. Now, I've since changed it, but But I like the idea that you have to really look at, you want to grab people's attention, you want to be a real person, you want to show them that, it's not just all business. Because once they see that you're just all business, then forget it. They can, more than likely, they'll just go away. So your header image, okay, so this is where I read it. Your bio can be 160 characters. That's where I saw that. So you have 160 characters to let people know what makes your business special, why they should follow you. You can put your link to your website and maybe some fun hashtags. So that's a good idea. Now, I like what you did, Len, with your bio, how you put that in there. And maybe can you put your Twitter, would you mind doing that? Throw that in the chat so later they can, or even right now while I'm talking, they can go into Twitter and take a look at it. Or we can do a screen share. Were you going to do that?
Yeah, let's just do a screen share.
Okay.
Why don't you do a screen share and we'll just go over all this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, if we intended to do that and I forgot, I apologize. Okay.
If we intended to do what?
I know we talked about doing a screen share.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So I recently redid mine. I just did a little bit of updates because I really haven't been using it. And since we're doing this now, I'm just going to try to, well, I'm not trying. I'm going in and I'm re-updating everything. So to look at your header, well, actually, I should go back. To look at your profile, you would click on your picture. That's where your profile is. And then you just click View Profile. Now, so your profile page is just like your timeline in Facebook. It's what you're posting. That's your profile. So, sorry, I was scrolling. So my profile, my user is Jens Did Mom, which if you're not sure what that is, it's Disney spelled backwards. Because I'm a pretty big Disney fan. I love Mickey Mouse. But so I just said, I made my profile. Do you know every product in your home can be made without chemicals? Check this out. This is my free ebook. And then I said, you can also follow me on Instagram. Then in my header cover page, I put my Facebook fan page and my Instagram account up there along with my website. So so that they can know where if they want to go. Now it's not clickable, of course, but at least it's just up there. But the ones down here with in your bio, you can pretty much, I connected my Periscope account and these are my photos. Yeah, so, and here's the link. This is the link to my website. So if I click on that, it'll just go right to my website. And that is pretty much it. That covers the bio, the hashtags, the cover photo, getting started. One thing I did want to mention is lists. If you would like to categorize the people that you're interacting with, this is a good way to do it. If you click on your profile and then you go down to lists, you can create a list. Like over here it says create a new list on the right hand side. You can create a new list, and the lists that I have, healthy living, baking, technology, who follows me, likes, organics, social media, mention me, family and friends, Disney. So anyway, you can really utilize this to help you categorize certain people that you want to keep track of. Because all you have to do is click on your list, and then it shows you what those people that let's see, it shows you those tweets for the members of your list. So I like that feature. So I'm going to go back to my profile. Does anybody have any questions? Is there any questions in the group?
Rick says that the text is too small, make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So your tagline is Dream, Inspire, Believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the other essential features of the cover photo is that it has links in it to your other social media accounts.
Right.
So that's pretty important, so people can figure out how to find you. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to put out, if there's other ways that they can find you, you want to make it really simple for them to be able to do that. And so that's why, although it's in the cover photo, I also put it down here in the link in my bio.
Right. Well, because the bio is the only place where you can actually have a clickable link.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, okay, so did you want to go over what to tweet? Were you going to do that?
Well, actually wasn't going to worry about what to tweet so much tonight. I was going to begin to make sure that everybody has all the tools in place that we're going to be using.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, and then so the thing is, why don't you come off the screen share and let me go on the screen share? Okay. So once we're making the assumption that you've already got a Twitter account, and if you're missing some of the elements in your bio or in your cover photo, it's best to go ahead and clean those up. And if you need any advice or any help with that, you can ask us. So the next, what do we got here? Something going on with the chat. Okay, go ahead.
There is one more thing that that I learned recently that they may or may not know is you know, just like Facebook, if you have a page and you do a video or a post and you want it to be pinned to the top, so that's the first thing that they see whenever they go there every time.
Right.
You can do the same thing with Twitter. You can have a pinned post, and that was one of the things that they recommended. Oh. And I can't tell you how to do that because I haven't done it yet.
Well,
but
pretty simple.
Okay, so we know that that's something that we're going to be able to do.
All right, I'm going to screen share.
Okay.
Oh, that's different. Interesting. For those of you who weren't on Lunch with Len today, Google Hangouts, or not Google, YouTube Live threw a curveball into the system last night.
Oh, I'm
changed everything. Yeah.
Okay.
And they changed everything. So here we go. Screen share. Share. All right, you can see my screen, I hope. Somebody say yes.
It's thinking.
It is thinking, huh?
Yep, still thinking. It's still doing that. Yeah, now you're on Google, right?
Now I'm on Twitter.
Yep, we see you.
You see me? Okay. So just to wrap up this sort of introductory section, one more example of Twitter accounts, and this is my Twitter feed, and so you can, or rather, this is the equivalent of your news feed in Facebook. It's all the stuff that everybody else is tweeting that you've followed them, so you're getting their tweets. If I click over here, I can bring up my profile, which is now the same as your profile in Facebook, and just the same thing. I actually updated mine last night to put in my Instagram and my Facebook addresses so that people could find me on those social media. There's a tagline and my website address. Now, since none of the links in this picture are clickable, you don't need to worry about the HTTPs and all that stuff because they're not clickable links anyhow. And the other thing is, in the profile section, a little bit about myself personally. I love outdoor adventure, and we hashtag that so that people that are searching for outdoor and adventure, they might find me. I'm also an online marketer. These are hashtags, and who thrives on helping you succeed. So this is sort of what we're doing as a business from a business viewpoint, and then with an extra 5 to 10 leads per day help. And then there's a link here, and this link goes, you'll recognize the link goes to an MLSP website. So this Twitter account is one I've been using for the last several years, and it was pretty much focused at MLSP. And then the rest of the stuff is, where do I live? It depends on the time of day. There is a clickable link to my website, and when I joined Twitter, but that's not so terribly important, and then of course my birthday. And they claim, by the way, that the year on the birthday only shows to me. It doesn't show to everybody else. So I don't know if that's true or not. That might be something you can set up and have a way to change. As far as what you mentioned a bit ago, pinning a post, it's as simple as grabbing the 3 dots there and going pin. So if look at any post on your page, and there's 3 dots that gives you more things you can do with it. And of course, these are all the other things. And those of you who are using Twitter probably don't need any discussion on any of this stuff. But we'll just point out, if you want to reply to this tweet, you can do it there. If you want to retweet it to someplace else, you can do it there. If you simply want to like it, you can do it there. We'll pass over tweet activity for right now. And if there's more things that you can do, clicking on the more gives you a whole list of things to do.
Oh, pinned to your profile page. There it is. Okay.
What you can do is one of the things you can do is delete it. You can and you can pin it to your profile page. And there's some other things you can do too, but we'll ignore those for right now. Okay. Now the next big question. Let's pass out of Twitter for a moment, because in order to make this whole thing work, we have to begin to set up some tools. And the first set of tools we want to set up and use is, how do we get followers? So there are a number of ways to get followers. The way that I have been using, and I like the app, is Status Brew. Now, Status Brew just loaded right away when I typed Status Brew into the URL bar. It loaded up right away. If you don't have a Status Brew account and you want to follow along all of the training that we're going to be doing and the leads we're going to be generating over the next period of time, I would suggest a Status Brew account. There are other things that you can use. Crowdfire is another source. I think, Chris, you use Crowdfire. I've never used Crowdfire, so I'm going to assume that it does basically the same things, but I don't know that for sure. We'll look at my current status. My current subscription plan with Status Brew is $9.90 a month. For $9.90 a month, I get 2 accounts, and that's basically 2 Twitter accounts. Although I believe you can have a Facebook account here. I don't know, and I've never tried it. That's for another day and time, because we're not going to do Facebook with Status Brew, at least not at this moment in time. So I have 2 accounts, period. And what are those? And I'm really only using one. So the account I'm using is the one you saw a minute ago. It's at LenMooney5839. Now, the other thing you get for $9.90 is you get source accounts. You can have 2 source accounts. What is a source account? Well, that's somebody who we're going to raid. And Adam teaches this, and I believe Mark Lalone teaches it also. I've been using, for the last period of time, I was using Adam Chandler and I was using Jordan Adler. I pretty much depleted Jordan Adler. So for tonight's sake, we'll just remove Jordan Adler as a source.
Chris said she uses Crowdfire paid, Status Brew free, and then Social Jukebox to post paid. Okay.
Say that again.
Chris says she uses Crowdfire paid and Status Brew, the free Status Brew, and then Social Jukebox to post paid.
Okay. So we're going to pretty much use Status Brew, at least for the time being. So I just deleted the source, and now I'm just going to go ahead and add another source. And the source I'm going to add, just for demonstration purposes right now, is Mark M. Lalone. We know that Mark has, if I could spell it, we know that Mark has a huge number of Twitter followers. Let's see, at the add in. I might have to keep the spaces out. We'll find him. Come on. Mark M. Lalone. There he is. We found him. Okay. Now, Mark has, 50,000 followers. So one of the reasons that I would choose Mark is because he has a huge number of followers. And I just want to show you how to begin to get followers into your Twitter account. So I'm going to choose the profile. The only one I have is myself, Len Mooney. So there's the profile. And now what I've done is I've taken Mark Lalone's Twitter account and I've hooked it up to my profile. So I can now begin to go raid his account. I can find followers that are following Mark, and I can follow them. So the source account right now is Mark Lalone. I'm going to go all followers, period. And so this is everybody that's following Mark Lalone. And since I've never played with Mark Lalone before, probably very few of them are actually following me. There might be some, but probably not very many. And so what I can do now, and if we go back to, we did a lunch with Len training where we looked at setting up these filters. I'm not going to set up the filter right now, but what we can do is we can choose fast follow. And now I'm going to ignore the filters. For those of you who are familiar with the filters, I'm just going to simply ignore it for the moment. And we'll probably touch on filters next week. We're going to run out of time tonight because I have to do the 6 o'clock webinar. So all we need to do now is sit here and start following people. So I got this green follow button and I can start following. Now, Mark, in his training, spends a little more time looking at individual followers or individual people to be sure there's somebody he wants to follow. Like this person doesn't have a personal picture up there. He might skip over them. That's fine. Adam, on the other hand, doesn't skip over them. He just follows everybody. That's fine. You know what? There's no right. There's no wrong. There's whatever works for you. So I can sit here and I can just, and as fast as I can push the mouse, I can follow people. So you see right now, you see the counter going up here? I've just followed 35 people. Now, you might ask yourself, several questions, and I'm going to comment on them. So let's just follow 100 people and stop. So what you want to do is, if you're starting to build a Twitter account, you want to get out here and follow. Okay, fine. And you might want to get out here and follow a couple hundred people a day. And if you have less than 5,000 followers in your account, I don't believe you can follow more than 200 people a day at all. There's locks in Twitter that stop that. So we just followed a bunch of people. Now, the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to follow people. We're going to unfollow people who aren't following me back. I'm going to have to, let's see, re-authenticate again to use our service. Okay, what does that mean? Does it mean I have to go back to, I don't know what it means. To be honest with you, I don't know what it means. I've never seen that before. But what I want to do, and I actually do have a filter in here. I'm going to throw up the filter, and I'll explain the filters at another time. But what it's doing now is it's going out to my account, looking for people that I've followed who have not followed me back. Because here's the key to this whole thing. If we're going to follow a couple hundred people a day, most of those people are not going to follow you back. It's like messaging in Facebook. You can send out 10 messages or 20 messages or 100 messages and you know how many people are going to follow, or how many people are actually going to message you back? Maybe one or maybe two. The difference here is what we want to do is find people who aren't following me. Now, since we just loaded Mark Malone's account, there's not going to be anybody not following me back. I mean, I just followed a few people. So actually, let's just switch source accounts and go over to Adam Chandler. Okay. It wants my password. I'm going to have to go screw it up. Huh?
They detected some unwarranted,
unusual activity. That's because I haven't done this for a couple months. So,
okay.
You know what? That's going to take me out into my email account and going to get me to screw around. So let's just leave that alone, because we only got about 5 more minutes to go anyhow. We'll deal with that next week. So we're going to use Status Brew to follow and unfollow people. That's the basic thing we're going to do with it. The other thing, password change required. The other thing we're going to do is that Status Brew, I don't know if I probably can't get back into it right now. All right, it's gonna screw around with me. You know what? Let's just leave that alone for right now, and we'll finish up with Status Brew. We'll pick this right up next week and finish up with Status Brew, because the other thing I'm going to show you in Status Brew is that it has the ability to send messages to people, so that when somebody does follow you back, they will get an automated message from you, and we'll go through automated messages and that sort of stuff next week. Now, the other piece of software that we're going to be using is, I'm going to start typing in Tweak Jukebox, because that's the one that we've been using for quite a while. However, you're going to find that when I type Tweak Jukebox in, it's going to give me a message that says that I've already turned on Status Jukebox. No, it didn't give me the message. Well, it's going to screw around with me, and it's going to screw around with me here too, huh? Let me see if I can get into status jukebox. Maybe I can't. This is okay because come on. It is no social jukebox. I'm sorry, social jukebox. Okay, social jukebox is replacing tweet jukebox in the next at the end of this month. So did I say what did I say before I said status jukebox?
I think that's what you said, yes.
Okay. For those of you who are using tweet jukebox, it is being replaced by status or by social jukebox. So there's only like 5 more days to go. So if you haven't transitioned over to status jukebox or to social jukebox, I keep saying status. Every time I say status, put the word social in there. If you haven't transitioned over to social jukebox, I suggest you do it. The transition is very, very, very simple, and there's even a little video explaining how to do it. And Laura has that video. She could send it to you, or I could send it to you, or we could actually post it up in Lunch with Len, Laura. I think. So what happens with social jukebox, and I have a free account over here. So Social Jukebox already gives you a couple of jukeboxes in your free account. One of them is a free quote jukebox. So this, and does everybody know what a jukebox is? You know, you put a quarter in, and it's got 100 records in there, and you can play whatever record you want. Well, this one you don't have to put a quarter in. So you actually already have a free quote jukebox that has 200 quotes in it, and you can program these quotes to go out. So my jukebox is scheduled to send out a different quote every 3 hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I have complete control of the schedule. So I don't think we can look at my Twitter account, can we, right now? If I try to go into Twitter at all, it's gonna stop me. So you know what? I'm going to come off screen share. But before I do that, let me show you one more thing. In Social Jukebox, you actually get 2 jukeboxes. So the first one you get is this free quote jukebox. It has 200 quotes in it, and you can just program that, and it's going to start sending these quotes out. The other one, you get a second jukebox, which I'm setting up as Len's blog, and I haven't set it up yet, but I will be setting it up over the next few days. And then you also have targeted posts. So you can have, and this is in the free version, you can have targeted posts. And so if you look at my Twitter feed, you're going to see posts out there. For example, you're going to see posts about my social media marketing book. And this post goes out every 5 hours on my Twitter feed. So having said all that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close all this down. With a little luck, I'm not going to close down the webinar. Well, there it is. There's the webinar. I'm going to stop the screen share. And okay, am I off screen share?
Yep, you're off.
So why don't you can just go to my Twitter account?
Yes. Let me.
So the first thing about it, if you scroll down the page a little bit, the first thing you'll see is that my social media book has been pinned to my page, and actually you can't actually see my news feed right now because because we can't get to it because I have to change my password. But so there's that social media marketing report, though. It's pinned, and then those other tweets in the scheduled tweets are going out every 5 or 6 hours, and then the quotes are going out, and like I said, like I showed you there, they're going out, I think, every 3 hours every day of the week. So we have to pick it up there when I can get back into my account. So I have to go reset my passwords and do all that and get back in there. So I guess we'll just kill the screen share. See. Okay, yeah. Daryl was asking what's the cost. All right, so the things that, in order to follow along with us over the next weeks, however long we continue with Twitter, and we'll just see how it goes, is you want to have your Twitter account set up. You want to have your profile with all the elements in it that need to be there. You want your cover photo. And by the way, I redid my cover photo last night in Canva.com. So for those of you who are familiar with Canva, it's a very easy way to go redo your cover photo if you need to redo it. So we need to redo that. And then we're going to be using Status Brew to follow and unfollow people. And we're going to be using Social Jukebox to generate our tweets so that we can put this thing on autopilot and have tweets going out all the time. Otherwise, a tweet on Twitter doesn't stay around as long as a post on Facebook does. If you don't have some sort of automated tweeting system running, then you drive yourself crazy trying to keep up with Twitter. So those are the tools that we're going to be using. I'm going to have to blow out of here and get over to the live webinar. So for those of you who want, the Asante corporate webinar starts in 10 minutes, and it's live. I'll be there, and I look forward to seeing you there. So is it 6 Figures Live? No, it's GoGreenGetPaid.com. I was confused. For those of you who are interested, GoGreenGetPaid.com/live. Yeah, GoGreenGetPaid.com/live will take you to the corporate webinar. And yeah, those answers are right, Daryl. There's different flavors of, well, both Status Brew and Social Jukebox have different flavors of them. So it's possible to pay more and have more accounts. Laura, you got anything else to say?
Well, I just wanted to mention that if you are still on Tweet Jukebox and you want to see the video from Tim Fargo about switching over before the 31st, the video is now in Lunch with Len. I just posted it there.
Cool. It's a very short video. It's less than 10 minutes long, and the transition is very easy, and it brings all your jukeboxes. If you have jukeboxes in Tweet Jukebox, they all come over to Social Jukebox. So it's almost a completely seamless transition. There's just a very few differences in the interface. Whoops. Okay. So I've got to go sign into Google and start the webinar. So I'm going to go.
Okay.
All right. I hope this was valuable. I hope this was valuable to everybody. Couple glitches there, but we'll get them ironed out, and we'll be rolling next week. All righty. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Bye for now.
Okay.